I think the SEC is going to lose, but that doesn't mean Ripple's going to get an outright win either. But I think the SEC is going to lose at summary judgment because of the theory that they went with. Charlie, normally when you go after a promoter, you say, well, on this particular day, you made an unregistered securities offering or sell. And that particular transaction was a security, investment contract. And now they're saying that all sales of XRP, the token itself is a security. And that's the problem.
See, John, this is why all eyes are on this case, by the way, and why Twitter blows up every time you come on the show. Just to point out, guys.
I think the SEC is going to win, and I tell you, it's going to be a bad day for crypto if they.
Okay, we're going to bet dinner on that.
You think they're going to win?
No.
Hey, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. This is the 1 week that could change everything for your portfolio. Now, I'm Ryan Huggins, and right now, the crypto world is on fire with massive news that you can't afford to miss. We're talking about a global financial upgrade, a legal battle that could end, and one crypto ready to explode. But here's the catch. Miss these key dates, and you could end up losing big. In the next few minutes, I'm going to be breaking it all down for you. Crypto Week's must-know moments, the Fed's game-changing ISO 222 move for the FedWire, and the SEC's make-or-break XRP vote on July 17th. And these could skyrocket your investments or leave you in the dust. Want the edge? Well, smash that like button and stick around for an exclusive invite to a crypto group that's packed with insider tips that'll blow your mind. So let's dive in. Time is running out and the crypto world never sleeps. Plus, we will be heading over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the crypto world today. We'll also be heading over to Forex Factory to show you all the red folder news that you need to know about that's happening this week. And at the end of the video, we're going to be looking at XRP in the charts. We're going to look for important areas of resistance and support that you need to know about, plus long-term and short-term momentum waves. And so much more in today's video. So if you are like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do for you on this channel every single day, make sure you subscribe right now. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below.
Hey, what's up, my friend? Nick here. Quick heads up for all you smart investors watching this. If you love to see your crypto actually working for you, earning passive income every single day on your coins, we're putting together something really cool. On July 20th, we're running our first ever free online event challenge. It's called the Crypto Passive Cash Flow Challenge. And it's basically 3 days where you'll learn our DeFi strategies we use to safely earn passive yield on our coins 24/7, even while we sleep. And some people are doing crazy numbers with this strategy alone. And if you had some coins that you're just holding on to, you should join us and discover how to put them to work. We've never done anything like this publicly before, and we probably won't ever do it again. So it's completely free, but we might have to limit spots to keep the quality high and give everyone proper attention with the size of our YouTube channel, over 360,000 subscribers now. So if you want in, just click the link below this video, grab your spot while you can. And now back to the video.
First things first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall health of the crypto market today. Taking a look at the overall market cap for crypto, we're at $3.74 trillion. We have officially eclipsed a new all-time high for crypto market cap, total market cap. And look at this, today's volume alone, $293 billion worth of trading volume. And earlier today, it is official. At 7 a.m., we hit $3.8 trillion total market cap, eclipsing its previous all-time high. Fear and Greed Index sitting in a very good spot for us in the greed level, but it is at the 70. We have not reached extreme greed. Feel very positive. Altcoin season index is ticking up a tad, which is nice. You can see we're 32 out of 100. We do really need to reach 75 for it to be altcoin season. And the reason for that delay is the fact that Bitcoin dominance is still absolutely ripping to the upside, 63.7%. We have had a tiny pullback. Once this starts to ease up, we will really see some altcoin season kick off. And just to recap, last week's Bitcoin ETF inflow final day was $1 billion. We have not got the official report for today yet. We'll keep you updated on that tomorrow. Make sure you check back in. But we do follow this. This is a very key indicator for volume coming into the markets. Ethereum also had a massive finish to the week, over $204 million of inflows, and the day before, $383 million. And speaking of ETF information, we got an exciting news piece for XRP Army. We will be having the XRP ETFs We'll be talking about that in the news in this video. Top 6 cryptos by total market cap. Number 1, Bitcoin coming in at 120,000-ish right there. Number 2, Ethereum at $3,020. XRP at number 3 at $2.95. Tether at number 4 at $1. BNB at number 5 at $690. And Solana at number 6 at $162. Top performer over the last 7 days for the top 6 is XRP with a 30% move to the upside. All right, the news you need to know this week for the financial markets. Core CPI and all the other CPI numbers coming out. That's on Tuesday, tomorrow morning at 5:30. We're also going to have PPI on Wednesday. You'll need to know about that at 5:30 a.m. And then the big day, what you really are wanting to pay attention to is right here, unemployment claims on Thursday. Right now, it's forecast for 233,000. Last week, it was a great number that came out for the actual number, and that's what sent crypto flying, which is very exciting. And this week, we need to make sure that we have another great number here. We want to be under 233,000 claims for positive news. Check back tomorrow, and I'll have more updates for you. Jumping over to X to find out the breaking news, I want to kick it off right here first and congratulate Lenovo 1TRB for winning our previous XRP giveaway. Remember, we do give away $100 worth of XRP every single week, and all you have to do to win is follow us on X, like, retweet, and comment on this post that is pinned on our page, and subscribe to our daily crypto newsletter by clicking this link right here. That link brings you to our sign up page. Click the orange button, enter your best email here, and click the orange button again, and you are all set. And again, congratulations to Lenovo 1TRB for winning last week's contest. Now, as you saw in the intro of the video, we had John Deaton, who came out 2 years ago when Judge Torres stated that XRP itself is not a security. I want you to rehear that. XRP is not a security, and cited that nearly 4,000 XRP holder affidavits that he submitted, John Deaton represented XRP holders in this, was actually very helpful in the deciding factor. Out of over 2,000 exhibits submitted by the parties, Judge Torres only cited a few dozen in her summary judgment decision. XRP holder affidavits was one of them. And I had to bring that up. That leads into this because the SEC sets July 17th for their vote. The Ripple case dismissal is on the table. A historic moment for XRP could be just days away. And on top of that, for our XRP army, the Federal Reserve has officially implemented the ISO 20022 for Fedwire. And this marks a major step towards faster, more efficient cross-border payments. And guess what? XRP and the XRP ledger are built for this standard. So as we see here, a note coming out, Fedwire adopts international messaging. It is official as of July 14th. And if you're excited, I'm excited, and whales are definitely getting excited. A massive $15 million worth of XRP in a long position just opened on Hyperliquid. The long-short ratio is now 79.39% long. Whales plus retail equals full send mode. Bulls are taking over, so very exciting to see that massive trades are happening for XRP. Now, you know that this always happens for Bitcoin and Ethereum. You see these big trades, but to have a long leverage position on XRP of $15 million is very exciting to see. And we even have a post here from WhaleFud. XRP is witnessing a significant resurgence in whale activity that may be setting the stage for a notable market shift. And what is that notable market shift? Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. ProShares Ultra XRP ETF is now listed on the DTCC under the ticker UXRP. The launch date, July 18th. So very interesting timing, right? SEC sets the date of July 17th. The very next day, all of a sudden, confirmed via official SEC filing. This is not speculation anymore. The momentum is real. We are so back. And here we can see the listing applied, UXRP, the ProShares Ultra XRP ETF. Then we also have Digital Asset Investor having a great clip here from the Chris Tipper show that he hosts on X. And let's take a look at this.
The token, the XRP token sitting there, like it feels from a lot of what you're describing, even saying those early moves that Ripple, the company, made, like Ripple is setting itself up to be an absolute monster here, like almost an empire of that's covering all of these areas. do people feel, or is there a risk that the people who were the long-term supporters through the XRP token get left behind if they manage to pull this off, which it appears they're doing, and effectively conquer the world?
Yeah, well, you've still got all these assets that need to run on the blockchain. The blockchain is powered by the XRP token. So, you know, the protocol is still where the value is. And, you know, like I think Glenn Hutchins from former New York Fed and formerly, I don't know if he's still with Grayscale back in the days of Barry Silbert, he famously said, you know, that the price is a distraction, the value is in the protocol. Now, if Ripple aren't building this protocol out to promote the XRP ledger and the use of the XRP token, well, I'm not here. I know that they constantly come out with the FUD saying, people go, oh, it's just going to be RLUSD and the XRP is going to be left behind. It's not. It needs to run on something. It runs on something that provides, yeah. So I know people can get frustrated. The price moves sideways. The price moves sideways for years. You know, stuck at 22 cents. And now we seem to be stuck at $2.22. Well, yeah, that's not so much a big problem. That's kind of cool. But
an extra where it was. Yeah.
You're not going to argue. But look, it does have room to go. And look, I think as this space matures, we start to understand that, you know, financial products, they're a lot more complex than just payments. Okay, so there's a lot of other things they're going to tap in here, a lot of DeFi products, a lot of other Wall Street central bank products and treasury functions and all this sort of stuff. The Ripple, if they do get it, can access in and absolutely turbocharge what the XRP ledger has always been capable of. And I mean, we haven't even discussed, you know, the decentralized exchange, the DEX that lives in the XRP ledger and has since day one. Yep. So, you know, we're swapping assets to assets in a decentralized way. Hasn't been used anywhere near where it should have been. And maybe that starts to wake up as well with other assets moving on it, which could be tokenized treasuries, could be anything if they do get this banking license. But yes, the XRP community has felt a little kind of, you know, well, that's another good news. Normally when you have good news, normally the price goes down. You know, it's just weird, but like a beach ball underwater, you keep pumping that thing full of good news gas, eventually it's going to explode through the surface. And I think we're positioned for that.
Like a beach ball underwater, you keep pumping it up and you're going to explode through the surface. And we've definitely started doing that, approaching that $3 mark. Now can we break through to $3.40? We'll take a look at the charts here shortly. On top of that, we also have Tomoya Asakura, CEO of SBI Global Asset Management, dropping a bold statement. This is not just another crypto. This is the wealth transfer of our generation. So do you know what you hold? Let me know down in the comment section if you're fired up, XRP Army. Now, on top of all that, we have great news here. The Federal Reserve just issued an official announcement and a statement saying banks are allowed to custody Bitcoin and crypto. This is official. Regulatory clarity is finally here. Institutions now have the green light. The path to mass adoption just opened wide up. And speaking of mass adoption, as you all know, it is crypto week, and these are the key dates to watch. We're going to cover that before we go through the article and deep dive into that. Let's take a listen to what the Senate Banking Committee is calling to create here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing and for indulging us in finally addressing the topic of digital assets. When I arrived here 4.5 years ago, there was very little knowledge about digital assets. And to the extent that there was fear because it is something about which people knew very little, and in some cases still know very little. Yet the industry has innovated and grown and become a force in our economy. And in fact, in the global economy, we now see one digital asset company not only make an appearance on the S&P 500, but come into the S&P 500 in about the 135th position. That's how big this company is. We see several companies going public this year that are based in the digital asset industry. Yet we've seen foreign countries get ahead of the United States in terms of establishing a clear regulatory framework for digital assets. We have allowed regulatory agencies that are unfriendly toward this asset to use regulatory functions such as enforcement actions to bring about a regulatory morass for these industries when they've been unable to find out what regulatory framework they're supposed to follow, not having received clear guidance from the regulatory agencies to which they're subject and hope to comply. So we finally have an industry coming and requesting regulation, so we know the rules of the road, so we can integrate this tremendous new technology into our economy. And so the time has come, and Mr. Chairman, I'm so pleased that you recognize the relevance, importance of the United States leading in this space.
It is officially Crypto Week, a multi-day event where leaders in the U.S. House of Representatives hope to vote on 3 cryptocurrency bills expecting to bolster the national crypto industry. Are you guys ready for this? The Clarity Act, the Genius Act, and the anti-CBDC surveillance state are expected to go through debate. Crypto Week is going to be July 14th through July 18th, where the 3 bills will be talked about, debated on, and voted on. The Clarity Act bill aims to provide an exemption for the Securities Act of 1933 registration requirement for offers of investment contracts involving digital commodities on mature blockchains that meet certain conditions. Then we have the Genius Act, and this bill passed the Senate on June 17th. The Genius Act sets rules for the type of entities that may issue stablecoins. It establishes that issuers must maintain reserves backing the stablecoin on a one-to-one basis in United States dollars or other similarly liquid assets. It also extends the Bank Secrecy Act to stablecoin issuers. And finally, we'll have the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act was introduced in the early March and seeks to prevent the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Central Bank, from issuing a CBDC. The Federal Reserve would also be prohibited from using a CBDC to influence monetary policy and ensure that solely Congress can issue a digital dollar. So this is very exciting because of the fact that the United States is taking back autonomy over the United States dollar as opposed to, through stablecoins, as opposed to the Federal Reserve having complete and utter control over the United States with extreme leverage of the dollar. So again, the dates are July 14th through 18th, so keep an eye on that. Now jumping over to XRP and the charts. Now, as we talked about, our long-term momentum wave did break back to bullish right here back on July 1st. Let's zoom in here a little bit so you can get a look. And this would be right here, turn from red to green on July 1st, July 2nd. And obviously we did have a lot of resistance here for several days actually until it finally broke out on July 8th. So another week that it just sat there doing nothing, consolidating sideways off of one of our spider lines. And if you're new here, the spider lines are trend lines that are drawn from the drop of 2018 on the weekly charts with a pivot point or fulcrum point right here in the middle of April 2021 when we got that high. And then it draws a point into the future, which becomes our new support and resistance, which has been historically very spot on. In fact, if we take a look back, that most recent drop down to $1.90, it literally bounced off of one of our spider lines there. Let's zoom out to the weekly chart so you can see this a little better and easier. So here's our $1.90 spider line that comes to us from January 15th. Right now, you can see we ran into the spider line that was the $2.25 level, and that was the spider line that came to us from January 22nd. Now we're on the January 29th line. Hey, bull runners, are you feeling FOMO about this bull run without the right financial support? We're here to change that. We're not just about funding, we're about growing your business together. Whether you're investing in crypto, kicking off a new startup, managing your existing business, or looking to expand, we have personalized funding that meets your exact needs. Imagine starting your business or getting capital to invest $100,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest. That's not a dream, it's what we do. We've helped countless entrepreneurs like you with 0% interest funding without needing personal funds, income verification, verification, or collateral. With just a 680 credit score, you qualify. We understand that your business can't wait, so take advantage of our quick funding approach. We look beyond the credit score with inclusive approval process that sees the big picture of your business or investment potential. Our flexible repayments are tailored to match your business cycles, ensuring you can manage repayments without strain. With access to our extensive lending network of over 5,000 options, we're committed to finding the perfect match for your business or investing needs. Plus, you'll have our dedicated team by your side, guiding you through every step of the funding journey. Whether it's buying crypto, hiring new employees, or launching a new product, we're committed to your success. Click the link to connect with our expert advisors and secure your business's future now, which we broke through just a couple of days ago, the $2.55 level. And then we go up to the green line, which is our February 5th, 2018 line, which is acting as a support. And then our most recent resistance line is actually the February 19th, the week of February 19th's spider line. So as you can see right now, that is where we've rejected off of today. We do have the brand new candle that just opened up an hour ago. So it looks like we got a new candle starting here. Remember, we have a great support now here at $2.88. We do have a resistance we need to break through at $3. Then we can surge up to $3.09. Then we can get up to $3.21. And then we have some big moves that are waiting to happen, which bursts us back to $3.50 and then all the way up into the $3.85 range. So on the daily, we are full on bullish on the long-term momentum. Our short-term momentum waves have reached the 100 level and have been there now for several days. And what is really exciting, when you take a look back at the moon phases indicator, you can see we had a moon phase indicator flash for a full moon, and we have been pumping ever since. Now that full moon going into the new moon takes 2 weeks, so we can see a continuation to the upside here. Now the moon phases is not the most accurate. However, historically, it does do a pretty good job showing there's going to be a pump coming right after. As you can see, this full moon got that secondary pump to $3.40. We go down here and we can see this full moon was our official launch into November. But then we had that crazy consolidation phase where the full moons, new moons didn't really do much. I mean, it's interesting to say it didn't do much nowadays, right? Because when it went from $2.60 to $1.90, it was a 70-cent move, while we were sitting there at 55 cents for 4 years. So that is a significant move, don't get me wrong, but just one of the indicators I like to pull up every once in a while. Now, the one thing that I have been talking about, we do have some pretty large fair value gaps to the downside. What I would like to see, this is what I am hoping to see. We have to see a reset on the green-red short-term momentum line coming down and then pulling back up. We want to see the white line remain to the upside, a pull down of the red-green line, and then a move back up. So as we saw right here, they both moved to the upside, and then we had a pullback on the red-green line, and then the shot to the upside. Now, we did have a little bit of a retraction on our white line here, but it did come and rally back to the upside. And along with that, I would not mind to see a consolidation period remaining above this $2.88 line, then making the move to the upside. However, when I switch to the weekly charts, we are looking like we have smooth sailing continuation to the upside. You can see our short-term momentum and mid-term momentum has started its move to the upside. They have not peaked at the 100 level, and there is still room to move to the upside. We are still super early in this second weekly candle. There's still 6 days left in this weekly candle to the upside. Now, like I said, on the daily, there's quite a few fair value gaps to the downside. The weekly fair value gap gets us pulling all the way back to $2.32. Eventually, that could happen. But right now, with this momentum, depending on how these votes go in Congress, do we pass these 3 votes? If they do pass, I see this price soaring up to new highs without a doubt. Now, when we go back to our traditional supply and demand or support and resistance lines, you can see the most important level that we need to break is right here for now on the weekly charts. This candle push right here left us a candle body, as you can see right here, candle body close, and then a drop from there. We did not break through this level yet on this weekly candle either. We need to break through there. That would create another new higher high. So as you guys remember, we were talking about this level right here was so important to break, because when this tried to break it, it didn't make it and it failed back to the downside. But as you can see, last week's candle officially broke through this level and this level, creating a new market structure. We are in bullish market structure. However, we did not break through this level on the weekly candles. And then we do also have one weekly candle body close above that level, which is right here, that we also need to break above. So once we break and close above $2.93, will get us a new higher high from here. But $3.02 gets us a new higher high from here. And once we break and close above this $3.02 level, that'll be the highest ever weekly candle close for XRP. So keep an eye out for that. Very bullish ahead. We have lots of room in the weekly. There is a possibility on the daily of a small consolidation, as we talked about. And that small consolidation would probably be right here at about the $2.88 level. There is also this very important trend line that we were talking about. Price already broke through there, came back and retested it. Could we get a double test off of the zone? And the only reason why I point that out is a possibility is because we can see right here on our daily, the 10 exponential moving average is all the way down here, likely come back and bounce off there. If we look at the 12-hour, the 10 exponential moving average is right here. If we look at the 4-hour, we're bouncing off the 10 exponential moving average right now. So important right here. If we can hold this on the 4-hour, that would be fantastic. If not, there's a possibility of just sitting here consolidating. But as you can see on the 4-hour, our short-term and middle-term momentum waves are coming back for a reset. I personally do not believe that we're done. This was not the top or anything like that. But when you blow off so hard to the upside, sometimes you do need to have a little small pullback and then send it back to the moon. Now, when we jump down to some really micro time frames like this, here's the 2-minute time frame. As you can see, price has come down, tapped off the 2-minute 1100 exponential moving average here. We talk about that a lot on this channel. It actually spiked under, back to that support line, bounced. And as you can see right now, we're losing the 2-minute 1100 exponential moving average, which is currently sitting at $2.90. So then we may come down to the 3-minute, which is $2.87. Let's go ahead and mark these off as well as potential levels. And then we have the 4-minute, which will be here at $2.83. And we'll even go to the 5-minute. And these levels are definitely potential levels of support. We don't want to see them breaking below these levels at all. So 287, 283, and 279 is where I would start to wonder what the heck just happened if we break below those levels. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Bitcoin has going on. So something we talked about with Bitcoin is that there was a very nice bull flag pattern that had been printed. And if it plays out, so if we take this here and we go from the bottom of that candle to the top of this level, creating the flagpole, this being the actual flag or pennant, whatever you want to call it, it's just a flag pattern. And then you put it at the breakout level, that gets us a potential price target for Bitcoin of $146,000. And then when we do Ethereum, it has the same exact scenario on the weekly. We have a bull flag pattern. Now, this one was a little bit different because it created this bull flag. It had a liquidity grab up and then a liquidity grab down, and then it came and settled back in and finally broke out. But this breakout level does get you, once we move to the top of its range, is going to be in between the supply and demand zone to the upside as well, 3,800 to 4,100. So keep an eye on that. Very good news for Ethereum. We did officially break above the bullish line on the weekly charts. Now, as you can see, last time we broke above the bullish line on the weekly charts, it had a nice run to the upside. And we definitely have, it's actually at that same exact level. I mean, look where it broke through right here. Price was sitting at about $3,000. And we've now broken through it right here. It was actually in this candle from last week, it broke through. So, but essentially this week is the first week through it. Boom. So let's see a nice surge for Ethereum to the upside as well.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.